Hey, you sexy bitch.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So last night on the WWE Network, I decided to check out WWE 2017 FASTLANE. The main event was Kevin Owens versus Bill Goldberg. But here's the thing. Now going into this pay-per-view, I knew it was going to be very predictable. Like if I were a betting man, I would bet on this pay-per-view, and honestly, everything I predicted almost happened. And I gotta be honest, WWE 2017 FASTLANE was really lame. It was a bad show. Like really, there were probably 2 good things about this show, and everything else was just really predictable and lame. And lately there's been a hashtag going around called Raw is dead. And with pay-per-views like WWE FASTLANE, yeah, Raw is pretty much dead in the water. Like seriously, this show did not get me excited for WrestleMania at all. My excitement for WrestleMania is always through the roof, but this year, my god, like it is just bland and I am not expecting anything. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but WWE FASTLANE was just a really forgettable show. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the results, my review, and my opinions. Now, keep in mind, these are just my opinions, and I'm sure your opinion will vary, but these are just my opinions and what I think would have made this a much better and memorable show. So I have some notes that I'm gonna talk to you guys about. So we had the kickoff match, which was pretty much a kickoff match just to get people excited for the show. And the kickoff match was Rich Swann and Tozawa versus the Brian Kendrick and Noam Dar. This match was pretty good. I thought it was just okay, to be honest. It was a nice kickoff match just to get people excited. The cruiserweights are starting to do these like real high-flying moves, which I really appreciate, and I think is great because that's what the cruiserweight division has been desperately needing. It's really, ever since they brought back the cruiserweight division to Raw, it's just been a piss break. And also, what else should I say? Oh, the characters in the cruiserweight division. You know, the characters are very, very bland. Noam Dar, he likes him some brown sugar. He likes Alicia Fox, and that's all we know about the guy. Rich Swann, he's just the guy who likes to dance. Out of all the cruiserweights in the division, I feel like Brian Kendrick is the only one that has a well-developed character, and we actually know who he is. You know, I was telling my dad and my cousin the other day how, you know, people always say things like, I wish WWE's Attitude Era would come back. And I'm one of the few people where I said to my cousin and my friends and all of these people who still watch wrestling, I was telling them how if you had today's talent and today's roster and the wrestling ability of today mixed with the characters of the Attitude Era, trust me, we would have another Attitude Era. Like, really, WWE would be through the roof. It would be very popular again. And unfortunately, that's not the case, but back to the FASTLANE show. Yeah, so that was just the kickoff match. Swann got the pinfall for the victory on Noam Dar, and yeah, it was a good kickoff match, and the crowd was really feeling this one. So now we get to the main card of the show, and let me just dive right into the main card here. So the first match was Samoa Joe versus the underdog from the underground, Sami Zayn. This match was okay. I'm glad to see Samoa Joe is finally on the main roster. And the crowd got really excited for Sami Zayn, but they honestly didn't get all that excited for Samoa Joe. It's like, I don't know if they're unaware of who he really is or his time in TNA or NXT, but they were just really quiet for this match, and I couldn't understand why. Anyways, Joe got the win. He choked out Sami Zayn, which I think this is good because it makes Joe look dominant, and it looks Sami Zayn makes him look like he won't really quit or tap out, like he really is an underdog trying to fight his way to victory. But yeah, that was my only complaint. Like, I just wish the crowd would have gotten more behind Samoa Joe. maybe in time, but so far they're doing a decent job with Samoa Joe the Destroyer. And then backstage, we had Bayley, and she challenged Charlotte to not have Dana Brooke interfere. Nia Jax showed up and said she would take the title from Bayley if Charlotte didn't. They're really trying to build up Nia Jax to be the next Awesome Kong and, you know, just big, dominant female woman. So I think that's okay. So now we get to the two sweet guys, the Club. The Club versus Enzo and Big Cass. Now the crowd got really, really excited for this. They loved Big Cass and Enzo Amore's whole, I'm a certified G and I'm a bona fide stud and you can't teach that. They love that. They're eating that shit up. So I think that's really cool. And this was actually a good match. The crowd really was feeling this one. Honestly, out of everything that happened on this show, I think they got excited for this match more than anything else. But anyways, Anderson and Gallows are still your tag team champions, but here's a little surprise. Enzo had his foot on the ropes, but Anderson pushed the foot off, and the referee did not see it. So that makes Enzo Amore and Big Cass still look like they have a fighting chance, but yet the Club is still your tag team champions. That I was feeling. I think that was a good call by WWE. And then backstage we had Mick Foley, who was wearing this like button-up shirt with a cheetah print and a flannel red jacket, like a plaid red jacket. And he's just Mick Foley. He's the hardcore legend, what can I say? And he was talking to Stephanie McMahon over the phone. Stephanie isn't there tonight because she's stuck at the airport. Once again, I just feel like this was filler. So up next we had Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax. I really like Sasha Banks, but I always liked her more as a heel, and I think she has the potential to be like the next Trish Stratus and really be a female they can build the women's division around. She's great. But anyway, she fought Nia Jax, and Nia dominated her early on in the match, and she had Sasha Banks on a torture rack that was really cool, and she was like really just trying to break Sasha Banks. And Nia was able to break out of the bank statement, and it looked like Nia was going to win. However, Sasha did a roll-up pin victory, which is cool, I guess, but it just made Nia Jax look like she wasn't dominant anymore, and it made Sasha Banks almost look like she got lucky, which I'm not feeling at all. And then one thing I just have to get off my chest is this show felt like Raw. There was absolutely nothing memorable about it. Like, it was pretty much Raw, but it was called Fastlane. It had the same setup as Raw, the same feel as Raw. It's 3 hours like Raw, and this was around the time when I'm like, wow, Fastlane is just Raw, and there's absolutely nothing else to it. But anyways, we have the handsome Rusev with a new haircut. He has a much shorter hairdo, looks good. And he and Jinder Mahal were set to compete in separate singles matches, but argued who would go first. So they both came to the ring and they had a brawl, and surprisingly, Jinder Mahal kind of whooped Rusev. And I'm like, are they trying to build up Jinder Mahal and make him like a dominant heel now? Like, I don't understand what they're trying to do. But anyways, Rusev and, Cesaro and Sheamus actually came out to answer the challenge. And the fans kind of recognized this as a filler match. The crowd was just quiet, like you could hear crickets in the arena. They knew this was a filler, and it had filler written all over it. So once again, I hate to keep using these words, but it was a piss break. And then after that, Rusev fought Mahal, Cesaro actually won, and Big Show came out. And the next match on the card is Big Show versus Rusev. So the next match here is Big Show versus Rusev, as I just said. And once again, I feel like the crowd was just dead tonight. But they got alive for this match. They chanted USA for a little bit. And Show had some early offense, but Rusev was able to, throw and slam Big Show to the mat. Like, Big Show just plummets to the floor. And Big Show did have a comeback, and he won the match with the chokeslam and the knockout punch. And after that, in my opinion, this was the match that I'm talking about up next was the best match of the night. But everything else before that was just lackluster and very plain Jane, white yogurt, and just not that interesting. But this match was really good, and I was really surprised how good this match was. Neville versus the gentleman Jack Gallagher for the WWE Cruiserweight title. Gallagher got a near fall with 2 headbutts. These headbutts were loud. Like, I mean, when he, boom, you could hear that headbutt all throughout the arena. It just echoed everywhere. And the crowd was like, oh. It was really good stuff. This match was excellent. And I love what they're doing with Neville, how he's a heel and how he's the king of the cruiserweights. I think they're doing a really good job. This was honestly the best match of the night. And still, your cruiserweight champion, Neville, hit the red arrow, something we haven't seen in a really long time. And that's how he won the match. So backstage, we have Paul Heyman cutting a promo saying that Brock Lesnar may or may not be in the building, which I'm sure he really wasn't. They're just trying to hype up Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. This is where the show really went downhill. And once again, this show had another piss break. The New Day came out with an ice cream cart and they did a promo. Now they have New Day ice cream. And as much as I like the New Day, I think it's cool they're going to host WrestleMania and all. They're getting a little old. I feel like they need to go heel or break up or just do something. Because really, it's run its course. The whole Bootios thing, it was fun while it lasted, but not good. And then everyone's favorite wrestler, Mr. Roman Reigns, went one-on-one with Braun Strowman. Now, you know this is a problem when the most exciting thing on a pay-per-view show is Roman Reigns has new shoes. He had like some Nike Air Max, I think, don't quote me on that, but his shoes looked cool. And that's all I can really say about the match. Roman Reigns beats Braun Strowman. So they were building up Braun Strowman as this beast, this behemoth, this monster, just so Roman Reigns can hit him with 2 spears and win, and that's it. Wow, they really want us to just bow down to Roman Reigns and worship this guy. I absolutely thought this match was boring as hell, and everything that they did with Braun Strowman just went flush right down the toilet. Really, I mean, God, it's like, you know, this is what I actually predicted. I predicted Roman Reigns would beat Braun Strowman, or The Undertaker would come out and chokeslam Roman Reigns to hell, and that sets up Roman Reigns versus Undertaker, and Roman Reigns can possibly go heel. Because remember, at the Royal Rumble, Roman Reigns eliminated The Undertaker, and Undertaker gave him this look like, yeah, you know something? I'm gonna get your ass. I'll get you, don't worry. You won't know when, you won't know how, but I will get you. But it's like WWE just completely forgot all about that, and like really, I don't understand why they would drop something like that. This is the opportunity to really do something cool with Roman Reigns, and they just dropped it. So I was not feeling that at all. Then they had Bayley versus Charlotte for the Raw Women's title. Now this I need to just get off my chest. You know something? I'm gonna put down this and just give you my thoughts on it. For one thing, Bayley won. Charlotte is no longer undefeated at pay-per-views. Now, instead of using her undefeated streak to build a new star, establish someone, they give it to Bayley. Bayley won, and it made Bayley look really weak when you have the help of Sasha Banks. And, you know, I really thought, like, if Charlotte were to be undefeated at all these pay-per-views, just maybe Asuka from NXT would come, maybe Peyton Royce, just a new female wrestler would be established by beating the queen of pay-per-views, Charlotte. And I just gotta be honest, like, what they did with Bayley was awful, man. It makes her look weak, and it was a good match, but I really was hoping Charlotte would win and Bayley would get her big moment at WrestleMania. It's like when it came to Bayley, they just gave her the Women's Championship to blow their load early and satisfy themselves, when Bayley, in my opinion, should win the title at WrestleMania. It was a good match, I just hated the outcome. And also, when Sasha Banks and Bayley were celebrating the victory, I thought, you know, Sasha Banks should turn heel, you know. She distracted Charlotte, and that's how Bayley won. And, you know, she has a history of not being able to beat Charlotte. So maybe she knows she can beat Bayley. So maybe she attacks Bayley and says, you know, this title is mine. You know, I've held you for your whole career, and I'm gonna get my title back at WrestleMania. But really, I thought, you know, and also when Charlotte lost the pay-per-view thing, it's like, that's it. She lost. She's no longer the queen of pay-per-views. Let's move on to the next thing. The announcers did not do a good job of hyping it up like, oh my God, Bayley just, you know, slayed the queen. She ended Charlotte's pay-per-view streak. It was like nothing happened. Now this is what I had a problem with. At first, this pay-per-view was very bland, as I mentioned. It was just in the middle for me. But this is what like made me say, yeah, this pay-per-view sucked. Goldberg versus Kevin Owens. Now, Kevin Owens, they were finally starting to build him up as a new star, as a new champion, and like he was this badass guy. He got rid of Chris Jericho, and you know, there were some signs in the crowd that said Goldberg, and I have to agree. You want to know why WWE won't have another Attitude Era anytime soon? Because they're afraid to push new stars. They're afraid to take a chance on new people. They have to rely on the same old farts. Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, all of those people. I just wish WWE would push new stars in a new direction. Yeah, like really, Goldberg beats Kevin Owens. He made Kevin Owens look like a fool. He speared him once. Chris Jericho came out and distracted Kevin Owens. And Goldberg is your new Universal Champion, which means most likely at WrestleMania, it'll be Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg for the Universal title. And that main event might be, I don't know, 26 seconds if we're lucky. Seriously, I don't understand why Kevin Owens couldn't beat Goldberg, and that way you establish a new star. Like, damn, this guy just beat Goldberg. He must be pretty damn good. No, they just feed these young, talented guys to these old farts, and I really want WWE to just go in a new direction with new talent, new everything. And I hated this main event. Really, I thought it was piss poor, and really, I just did not like it at all. So those are my thoughts. I really thought Kevin Owens should have won, and you know, even if Chris Jericho were to distract him, you know, maybe he could have attacked Chris Jericho. But this show was very bland. It was another Raw episode, and you know, this hashtag that's going around, Raw is dead. I gotta be honest, I'm not excited for WrestleMania or Raw at all. I mean, if anything, I've always been a SmackDown guy. SmackDown takes chances, they do cool things, even to this day, SmackDown is a much better show. But, my God, like, look what SmackDown is doing. They're pushing Bray Wyatt and AJ Styles, and they were both WWE champions. They took a risk. What risk is Raw taking by giving Goldberg the Universal Championship? Like, really? So, those are my thoughts. Those are the results. You can honestly skip this show. You don't need to watch it. Just watch WrestleMania. I should have went with my first instincts to just skip this show. But people told me like, oh man, we have to see it. So I decided to just give it a look. But it was not a good show at all. And really, the writing was bad. The wrestling was good. The character development is bad. I'm tired of these old farts getting chances in WWE. And my God, I don't know what else to say. But overall, if I had to give this show a rating, I would give it 4 rock bottoms out of 10. This show was really bad, and you can skip it. And really, this whole Raw is dead thing, I don't think they're dead, but I think SmackDown is the new A show in my opinion, and we can only see what's going to happen next. Anyways, I don't want to end this video on a sad, negative note. The good thing is WrestleMania is right around the corner. I'm always excited for WrestleMania regardless, and WWE is still better than TNA. I gave up on TNA a long time ago. But the good news is, still thinking of some good news. Yeah, when it comes to WrestleMania, I'm excited for everything SmackDown does, but Raw, yeah, with shows like this, what are you all getting me excited for when there's nothing to be excited for? You're all trying so hard, but really, it just needs a change. Anyways, that's all I can say about 2017 WWE FASTLANE on the WWE Network. I'm still a WWE fan, but really just Raw needs to change and switch things up. Anyways, thank you all for watching this video. I would appreciate it if you gave it a like, and if you didn't like this video, maybe you'll like one of my other reviews or topics in the future. That being said, thank you all so much, and I hope you all have an amazing day as always. And that's all I can say.